JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 13th of August 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's kind of getting along. But yeah, as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the first chart here, and the first one I want to touch on here is of course the German DAX. The index is drifting lower today. However, this is what I was talking about this morning, that basically that we could see a bit of a correction because we've opened lower today. But as you can see, the index continues to balance near the continues to trade near that psychological 13,000 zone, and also what I was saying, that in a way, even if it drops below that 13,000 territory, keep your eyes on the 12,913 level, which is the highest point of June, which in a way could provide a bit of support here. So for now, although yes, the index is slightly below that 13,000 mark, there is still a chance for the bulls to step in somewhere around here, or maybe even near this 12,773 territory. However, probably will take a bit of a neutral stand if we'll see the price kind of balancing around here between these two levels, between that 12,773 and the 12,913 levels. But of course, if it starts dropping below that 12,773 territory, then yes, we could consider a bit of a larger correction to the downside, because at the same time the index would be placed below the 21-day EMA and below this key important support zone, which previously acted as a good resistance area, and before that also as a support area. So that's why I'm keeping an eye on this level in order to kind of gauge the downside scenario here. So in a way, like I said, if we get a drop below that 12,773 territory, then yes, this is from where we could consider a bit of a decline here towards these lower levels, like the 12,517 area or the 12,254 mark. So, but again, for now, the price is still above the 12,913. So yep, as long as it stays above that, then there is still a good chance for the buyers to step in. Now, jumping into another index very quickly here, so the S&P 500, and here you can see that how well yesterday the index closed in the positive territory. However, it overshot its Tuesday's high, but it failed to reach that all-time high. It came very close to hitting that level, which is at 3,393 zone, but yep, failed to continue pushing further north. Right now the price on the cash index is balancing near the 3,373 territory, so slightly below where it closed yesterday. However, it's still okay. It still has a chance to move higher. But of course, if it starts dropping heavily to the downside here and falls below this this key support zone near the 3,328 zone, which is the low of the 21st of February of this year, and also, as you can see, in the past kind of a couple of days, it acted as a very nice area of support, and even on Friday as well. So it also acted as a good area of support. So that's why a drop below this 3,328 zone could open the door towards some lower areas. So now then, but of course, coming back to this S&P 500, we are still leaning a little bit more to the upside, especially if it climbs back above this 3,381 zone, and then yep, we will aim for that all-time high. And of course, let's see if we can manage to hit a new all-time high maybe. But again, for now, we're just gonna remain very careful. Now jumping into Nasdaq 100, and the index yesterday closed nicely in the positive territory here, and you can see that it pushed back above this 11,090 territory. I talked about this area. And yesterday I was saying that keep your eyes on this upside support line taken from the low of the 23rd of March, and yep, we got a nice kind of reversal here from this upside line and a move back above the 11,090 zone. So everything's kind of leaning a little bit more to the upside. Of course, we will be targeting this all-time high near the 11,282 zone, a break of which would confirm a forthcoming higher high and a new all-time high as well. But again, for now, be very careful looking at the cash index and where it's currently balancing at. It seems that it's willing to move further north. It is currently trading at around 11,187, so we probably will get a nice opening gap here to the upside. Not a huge one, but nevertheless a small little opening gap will be seen. However, like I said, it still has around 100 points to go until it could reach the all-time high again, so keep your eyes on that, guys. Jumping into gold very quickly. So gold is still it's kind of the same place where I've left it on in the morning. It's still kind of flirting with this 1940 zone together with this 21-day EMA as well. And yep, for now, guys, we will continue monitoring this level here, the 1940. If we do get a nice daily close above it, then yes, it kind of increases the chances of a possible move further north, where I'm not gonna drag this one way too much to the upside, initially only aiming for the 1981 zone and that psychological 2000 territory, and slightly above that we do have that 2015 zone marked by an inside swing low here of the 7th of August, which could come into play nicely, which could in a way provide some resistance. But again, in order to consider all these levels, we need that daily close above this 1940 zone. Ethereum. So Ethereum is moving sideways, but the most important is that for now Ethereum is kind of doing everything what I was talking about previously when I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this 363 zone. So this level here is kind of providing decent support. We did get a nice reversal here to the upside, but of course for now we will be very careful. To be honest, excuse me, we will aim for some higher levels, but we'll be very on the cautious side a little bit, just because this could reverse sharply to the downside at any moment. But in order to aim for some lower levels, we would prefer to kind of wait for a drop below this 363 level first. Ideally, also a drop below the 21-day EMA could kind of strengthen that downside scenario. However, this move lower could still be seen as a temporary correction before another leg of buying, because as you can see, we are still within an uptrend, on the uptrend, in an uptrend blitz. There we go, finally got it. So we're still trading above this upside support line taken from the low the 13th of March. So so yeah, that's why even if we see a drop below this 363 territory, a drop below the 21-day EMA, yes, it could move further south. However, anything up until this upside line will be seen as a temporary correction before a possible another leg of buying. But again, at the moment we are still trading above this 363 zone. The the crypto is trying to make its way higher, but it's kind of getting stalled here right now, somewhere just slightly below that 400 mark. For those who are more on the cautious side, what you could do here is just wait for a push above the highest point of August, which is the current highest point of August, near the 416 level, and then yep, a nice good break above it would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could be joining in here and possibly driving this pair towards these higher levels, like for example the 485 zone or even above that. But again, we'll get to that point if we see like I said, I'll consider that upside scenario if we get closer to this 416 level. Now AUDJPY, and look at this one here. So this morning I talked about, or actually yesterday I talked about this one, and basically I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on the 76.79 level. In the beginning of this week I was telling you guys to keep monitoring this level because we were somewhere around here and what I was saying, that in a way it kind of has a good chance to move a little bit higher here within this pattern, within this ascending triangle pattern. So this is exactly what's happening. So we got very close now to the 76.79 zone. So let's see if we can get that daily candle kind of staying above this area, breaking this level and then staying above that area. So again, if something like that happens, then of course, yes, this kind of increases the chances for a further move north. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. In terms of the downside here, well, we need to see a break of this upside line first before could examine a potential move lower. So again, but we are very close to this upper side of the this ascending triangle, so in a way everything's kind of leaning a little bit more to the upside, but we need that confirmation break here and a kind of the daily candle staying above this area as well in order to kind of aim for some higher levels. US dollar against the Japanese yen, something that I've mentioned this week as well. In the beginning of this week I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this 106 territory, which as you can see got broken nicely, and yep, we can see a further move, continuation move north. Everything's looking quite positive here for now, because don't forget that overall we're still trading below this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 24th of March. So in a way, it could move a little bit more to the upside, maybe towards the 107.55 zone here, test the 200-day EMA as well, or even this downside line, and if it struggles to overcome all this area right here, then yep, we could see another round of selling. But in the short run, for now, yes, we're still aiming for the upside. So let's see how it's going to behave here. For example, first near this 100-day EMA shown as the green line, and then if it overcomes that, how it will behave here near this key important area of resistance, near, like I said, there this downside line, this 200-day EMA, and this 107.55 level. So again, if it struggles to overcome that, then another round of selling could be possible. GBP NZD. So this pair is moving nicely and everything. So last week I told you guys to keep an eye on this 1.9638 territory, which as you can see provided very good support. So everything's according to this arrow here, everything's working out nicely. So the pair did drift higher. So now as I was mentioning before, my main target is this psychological 2 territory. It fell shy of a few points from hitting that level today, guys, and yep, it started drifting back down. However, don't get me wrong, we still have a lot to go. We still have the whole US session to go through, so let's see if this can actually push further north a little bit here. And yep, for now we are aiming for this area right here near this psychological 2 zone. If by any chance the daily candle manages to overshoot that and actually closes that and ends that daily candle above that area, above that psychological 2 zone, then, well, I mean, further acceleration to the upside could be possible. But don't get me wrong, at some point here we should be getting a nice correction to the downside. So let's see if this correction could come after a test of the psychological 2 zone. And finally, Euro USD. So here the pair, it did move higher, did move above this 1.1815 level, so everything's kind of working out nicely here. If you remember my review here from this morning and yesterday, I was saying that keep your eyes on this 1.1909 level. That's our initial target for now, but also something for you to kind of keep in mind is a possible kind of head and shoulders here pattern. So that we will consider that area, that scenario, if we see, for example, the pair struggling to get to this 1.1909 level, and then if it starts reversing back down and dropping back towards this 1.1725 zone, and if so, then, well, like I said, we could be getting ourselves a bit a nice possible head and shoulders pattern, especially if it breaks this so-called neckline here, which is around that 1.725 zone. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Again, don't get me wrong, this head and shoulders might not work out if the pair continues to push higher and breaks, for example, the 1.1909 zone. So that's why this head and shoulders pattern is kind of something just to keep in the back of your heads. For now, the main target, yes, is the 1.1909. If that gets broken, then yep, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and yep, we could start moving towards that psychological 120 zone. So guys, just a quick mentioning that tomorrow there won't be any Traders Espresso nor Tea Time videos. I'll resume on Monday. So yeah, have a wonderful trading day tomorrow, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. And like I said, let's catch up on Monday at my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and bye-bye.